of phenomenon. This thing comes into existence as a part of philosophy and as, part of philosophy connecting to science when it emerges in a debate. And please, nobody accuse me of being a Eurocentrist because I'm familiar with the debates between European thinkers in the epoch of capitalism. Debate between English thinkers called empiricists and German thinkers called rationalists. People like, John Locke, but not him so much, as a guy by the name of Berkeley, not a guy by the name of David Hume, said that all we know is what is given to us through our senses, our sight, our feeling, our taste, and so on. They call these phenomena, the sensations or operations upon our senses of the world outside of our senses. You know what I'm saying? Now, and they said we can't know anything but that. We can interpret these things in our senses through our brains in all different kinds of ways, but that's it. The first challenge to that, or major challenge, came from a thinker, German, Immanuel Kant, K-A-N-T. And that's where he got this idea that the brain is wired with certain concepts or structures that shape the way these concepts or these phenomena are filtered into our brains. The two main ones are space and time. That all of these phenomena, I don't care whether it's things that we see, things that we taste, whether it's the trees, the chairs, whatever, are shaped in our minds by what he called a priori, before the fact concepts. The two main ones were spatial dimensions and time. Okay? So already he's adding something that the British thinkers did not have. Okay? Now, what Kant was interested in was connecting philosophy as a body of concepts and deep thinking and critique to what natural science was doing. Okay? Natural science was measuring things. Natural science was collecting evidence of nature, etc. You know what they were mainly collectors, and and this was the very primitive stage of empirical science. The philosopher that challenges Kant and the English thinkers is Hegel. H-E-G-E-L. And what Hegel said is not essentially or primarily a matter of how the brain is wired. All knowledge exists as in a process of change and development. In other words, the way he put it is this. What we think and what we know or think we know is conditioned, he would, I think, even say, determined by the historical epoch in which we live. I'll repeat that if that didn't make sense. In other words, we are not these, like the isolated academic sitting at Harvard or Yale, because that's supposed to be the pinnacle. We're all the dumb peons. That's where all the smart people are. Isolated from most of us doing her research and reflecting upon the world, hence bringing us into some realm, or hoping to bring some realm of truth. Okay? Now, obviously, this elite approach suggests that all of that which has to be known exists in a world that is as it is, or has always or mostly always been. All we have to do is to discover the world. And thus, we are now at a period, now this is their argument, of complete democracy, complete freedom, with these great universities, with these great scholars, with the great administrators that are keeping all the riffraff, meaning the N-word people, out of the mix. And do you ever understand, do you ever ask yourself, why do most black academics act so white? You know, and it's almost, you have to perform whiteness to be taken seriously. Now, what Hegel is saying,
there's no such thing as acting white. We are what we are.
Okay.
I'll come back to that. We'll come back to that, Cassandra.